hello.
Hey guys.
Eric Vessels is here again. He's always the first coming in the room. Heidi.
Hey Julia, I recognize also Julia's face. I've seen her a couple of times.
Marco is here. Elke, bist du aus Deutschland? Nein, Elke is German. No, okay, sorry. Shane is of course here. I mean, we would miss your Bard.
I'm from Belgium.
Oh, hello. Angela is in
middag.
pink. Varja, Karen is here. Oh my God. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome here. How are you doing? Would you like to use a little bit the react button to show us how do you feel today?
No way.
No
There's
way.
not going to be the common question where are you from?
No, it's boring with the time. I mean, we can't ask always the same. I see a lot of hearts, smileys. I love that. Just like the button. So we missed.
I want you to close your eyes and to think about what you're going to do with all the money that you're going to make after this session. This is the type of intro you were expecting, right?
So we are just waiting a little bit that everyone is joining the room. But we are more than happy. Oh, I see a dog. We have a dog. Look at it. We are very happy to have you all here. We are still amazed by the number of people showing up, sending us LinkedIn message, sending us feedback on Luma. It's really a big surprise for us, and to see that you're continuously coming in this session. So we do think that you get some value if you're still appearing here. And I would like you to make something from me, because there is one guy in this room with a cap on his head, with a yellow mic and a red t-shirt, who is in the background organizing every of our session, every tech things. And no, don't disappear. And we get a surprise at each of our sessions, because he don't tell us every time what he's preparing. So it's like, oh, what will Said prepare for us today? So please push the heart button in butter to send him a lot of love, and to say just thank you, Said, for everything what you're doing here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Please don't do it in butter. Do it in Zoom. Please stay here. Don't leave the room.
Better not to use butter.
You have to give clear instructions as a facilitator, Nathy. But
so the only time Said is going to receive some praise, he's not even going to receive that.
But he had my name correct.
Let's start again, please. Let's start again. Okay. Can you tell the right set of instructions, Nathy, please?
Okay. We will do it differently. Don't push any button, raise your hand, and do something like this just for Said, and we will put it on LinkedIn in the next day. Thank you, Said, so much.
Honestly, this guy is a mystery for me, because he's managing the chat, the tech. We also have a WhatsApp group to give us message. He's also there. I don't know how he's doing it. Yeah. And I see that Paul is in a summer vibe. Hey, Paul, taking advantage of the sunshine to...
Beautiful weather, yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I've got to have a hat on because UV is 7.
Okay, so we will start now. Mehdi, what is the session about today?
It's about how messy my desktop is. No, it's about the secrets of selling workshop. So we've said it during the kickoff. If you want to be a great facilitator, you need to sell those workshops. And to sell those workshops, you need to be a great facilitator. So today we're going to reveal some of our favorite techniques to sell something that is not super easy to sell in the first place. And I think you guys are going to love this, because this is the question we get most of the time, right, Nathy?
Yes, absolutely. And before we dive into the topic, I would like to present you Mehdi for those who don't know him. But even if you know him, I have a few things that you might not know about him because Mehdi is, I started his career actually in sales. So I think he's the right guy for this session. He managed over 8 millions of portfolio. And what you also maybe don't know about him is that he's actually working full time as a consultant. And he started his business on the side. And I think this is a great start if you don't want to go full in and to test things first and to work in as an employee and to start your business. But also, like Said, I don't know how do you do that because you have your full-time job, you are working, you are a papa of 2 little children and in young age, and I know how it is or how it was for me, and you are managing your side business. So
And when she said
chapeau.
Said, she meant Mehdi, by the way.
Chapeau, Mehdi. Oh, man.
So yeah,
I'm so sorry.
again, don't jinx me. Like last time, like we were preparing this session. It was 2 o'clock 2 days ago, and she told me I don't know how I should do it. And a day after, I was sick. I'm still sick like crazy today. So doing my best, but there is no secret. It's a lot of work. Anyway, enough about me. What I think is really interesting for today's is that we are doing this together with Nathy. So you're gonna get two approaches. So you have someone like testing first his business, but also is like hard. I start business like really contacting client from scratch and opening doors, etc. Where you have a Nathy, which is she went all in into building a brand, using the power of her network to get opportunities. And look where she is today. Today, she's been in the business for more than 4 years, a successful podcast, a strong brand. I mean, like if you see Pink on LinkedIn, you know it's Nathy. So you will have two approach, which I think is really interesting because at the end of the day, they're gonna be a bunch of tactics, and you can pick the ones that fits more to your style or where you want to go.
Exactly. And of course, today, you know this from every session, there will be some prizes to win. So at the end of the session, we will offer a beta license for a year. So it's, I think, over 300 euro, a session lab license for a year. And we have a little surprise, a workshop to cash, which will be 1 week challenge. We call it a challenge, 1 week challenge, a big group. Every one of you can come there, and there will be a free ticket for this challenge 1 week in June with me and Mehdi, where we will help you craft your offer in 5 days. So we will talk about this at the end of the session.
Okay, exciting. All right, where does it start? So I think what you need to know is that I met Nathy through a program that I see some of you know. I see Tom, I see Eric, so I know that you've done Workshopper Master. And I was chatting with Nathy during that time, and it was in September. And basically Nathy tells me like, I think I'm going to quit my job and launch my facilitation business. I want to travel the world. I think it's going to fit me best. I still need to figure things out, but I think I'm going to go into that direction. I was like, awesome, great. I mean, like 80% of the people in this community has the same goals, right? Launching their facilitation business. But the difference is that the day after, I go on LinkedIn and I see this video. I see La Workshoppeuse. And basically,
Dee is in the room. She's dancing right now. Sorry. We don't hear the sound, just that
we
you
don't
know.
hear the sound, but it's fine. But then basically it was a video of like some people from the field announcing that Nathy is going to launch her business that's going to be called La Workshoppeuse. And I was like, oh, okay. When she was saying that it was not like just saying it, she was also doing it. And after working a couple of times with her for more than 2 years now, actually Nathy is the type of girl that when she says something, she's gonna do it. And the question I want to ask Nathy, like, when you decided to make that jump, what did you have in mind? What did you expect?
I was not expecting that much. I was just thinking, well, I'm a workshop master. You know all the funnels and the reputation of AJ Smart. I'm a workshop master. I was at the retreat. I have my ticket. I have a bank account. Exactly. I have a great experience in corporate. I'm ready to go. I will find this on my way. The only thing that I ask the people, and it's nice to be remembered to this video that I almost forgot, at the retreat, I said, oh, if I will build a business, it will be called La Workshoppeuse. And I found out that nobody could tell the La Workshoppeuse. So I asked all my colleagues from the retreat to send me a little video to pronounce La Workshoppeuse. So you didn't have the sound, but it's like La Workshoppeuse, La Workshoppeuse. So nobody could tell this. And some people told me, yes, but if you cannot pronounce, you cannot put out a name like this. And I was like, okay, I will make a video with all these videos on LinkedIn so that it's funny. And at the end, it's my name and people will see me like this. So the only thing that I started was a little bit of branding, but I had no clear strategy, actually. I was just thinking, okay, I will go for it. Exactly. I had no sales strategy. I was just thinking I will find out. I was never a solopreneur or a facilipreneur, a facilitator freelance before I will find out. This was my only strategy.
And I think when she said that she has no sales strategy, I think she didn't have any strategy in a good way. So she really learned a lot during that journey. And the first lesson we can already give you, it's on us, it's free, is like pick a brand name that people can say. I think it's already a first tips we can share. All right. So let's dive into the content of today. Why is it so hard to sell workshop in the first place? What you need to know is that, and you know it because we know we have a lot of facilitators, but workshops are a process, they are a method, they are a way to reach a goal. Meaning the capabilities, the possibilities, they are endless. So what's going to happen if you want your prospect to understand what is a workshop and how you can help? You need to do a lot of effort. You need first to understand what is a workshop. And here is already the first challenge, is that the word is so used so many times in not the right way that it means a lot of things, but not the right thing. So you're already starting not from the wrong foot because they don't understand really what is a workshop. To them, it's like a long meeting. It's an open discussion that lasts more than 2 hours. Everything you want, except the real definition that we all know and that we've repeated a couple of times. Then you need to listen to you, really understand what it is, identify a challenge that can be solved with a workshop. It needs to be convinced that a workshop is the right method to solve the problem. It needs to trust you as being the right partner to deliver this method. And also it needs to be okay to deliver it with a workshop, because I love workshops, but sometimes they are not the right thing to do with the customer problem. So this is already the first thing. And what I want to share also here is that how does the brain work, and why is it so important in that phase, is that the brain is wired for survival, meaning that he will only pay attention to information that will allow him to survive or thrive. What does it mean in 2025? Survive, it means like saving time, getting the promotion, avoiding a failure. And because people are selfish, the prospects really need to understand what you do and how it's going to benefit himself or herself based on what you're pitching to them. So what's in it for me needs to be very clear. Otherwise, it's not going to listen to you. Why? Because on top of that, the brain is super lazy. To understand something, it will need to burn calories. It doesn't want to do that. So if after 20, 30 seconds, he doesn't know where you're going, what you're doing, and how it helps him, is just not going to listen to you. And this is the first, I would say, this is the why it's so hard to sell workshops, is because it requires too much effort to understand how you help them. Okay? And now we're going to deep dive together with Nathy on what are the most common problems. Do you want to add something on this, Nathy?
No, I think this is also what I tried to say in the previous session, is that your expertise is not, your expertise is of course being a workshop facilitator, of course, but this is not the expertise that you should talk about when you talk with your client. You should more talk about what kind of problem you solve and for who, and then listen and ask question, and then in a second moment talk about your methods and how you do that. So absolutely agree on that. 5 problems that stop you from selling your workshop. Mehdi and I, we both working closely with facilitators in our different programs, and one question keeps coming back, or there are 2 questions keep coming back, but the one is, how do I sell my workshop? And the second would be, how do I find customer? I guess you have the same, Mehdi. And when we guide, or when we help people to find their offer or to start to sell their workshop, we have seen all or a lot of challenges popping up along their journey. And today we have 1 hour or 45 minutes now. So we have decided to pick the 5 of the most important we think you should know about. And during this session, we will walk you through how we personally overcame them, and with real examples, and share some of best tactics you can apply right away.
All right, exciting. Of course, if something is not clear, put it in the chat and our amazing co-facilitators will let us know.
Yes, and Alex, if there are some questions or anything, don't hesitate to interrupt, okay?
Yeah, I've already tell that in the chat, so we are waiting for your questions.
Good.
Awesome. Let's rock and roll then. All right, the first one, and it's very linked to the introduction, but nobody cares about workshop except you. So I know we all love facilitation. This is why we're in this room. It's exciting what we do, but it's not clear, and it shouldn't. And again, it's a method. So when you're trying to push to sell your workshops, you too much focus on the how. But the client, what he wants is a what, and how this what is solving his problem, his pain point. So you shouldn't focus on the how. It's like when you're going on holidays, you're excited about the destination, what you will be doing on holidays, being on that sunbed in that fancy destination, not about the plane tickets and how much time you're gonna spend in the plane and what you're gonna do in the plane. And it's the same when it comes to selling. So what you need to do, you need to ask good questions to your prospect, to your customer, to really understand what are his pain points, what are his needs, how can you help him? And it should be about them, because a lot of time is like, look at me, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. No, it should be about them. And you should go into this discovery mode and asking a lot of questions. What are your main problems at the moment? If you can solve one problem, which one would it be? When you look at your goals, how are you based on them? What prevents you from reaching those goals? Okay, of course, based on the audience you will be able to define more questions that are more precise to really identify that. But you want to take advantage of that interaction with the client to really understand his needs and his problems. All right, and you need to speak their language. So, for example, when I'm selling my workshop, I never mention first the word workshop. I don't. I'm asking them question. Like, for example, I had a client recently is into like launching a new department. It's about change management. He tells me like, we need to communicate more with our people. They still have no clue about what we are doing. And I was asking question. And basically they were struggling to come up with a communication strategy. And I told him like, listen, what we can do is that we can build a communication plan with your team so that we have the consensus and the ideas of everyone. And we can do this in 2 days. And at the end of the 2 days, what you will get is the roadmap of content, the owner of each piece of the content, and it will be documented. Does it sound nice to you? Boom, workshop sold. I didn't even mention the word workshop there because we don't care. It's really about them. And I know I'm going to go into the tactics in a minute, but I want to ask Nathy if there's something that she wants to add.
No, I think this is exactly this. I almost never use the word workshop with my customer unless this is a workshop culture in the company, like in big groups. Sometimes they use this word, but I really concentrate on the questions to ask the customer, give my advice from my previous experience as I have been working in corporates, so they understand that I know what they are talking about. And then how I do that, most of the time they don't ask how I do this. It's only I will talk about sessions or about gatherings of the people, which people should be in the room, and how I do that exactly, which method I use. I think maybe some consultancy, but most of the time they don't ask really if I'm doing specific methods or not. I think I had one time a client asking me for design thinking because I guess he knew about it, but most of the time they don't ask. They just understand that I'm here to help the team find the solution, and that to enable them to do that, they need some guidance from an external facilitator like me. But this is the only point. So totally agree on that.
Awesome. And I think an example, like you've seen the example I just shared. I mentioned the 2 days. Like one of the benefits of workshop is that we can get things done like faster. I'm mentioning concretely here because it's a sales factor that people are going to consider more if they can get the result faster than if they are struggling themselves on collecting the ideas of each of the team, putting them together, discussing on which one should come first. Then I show them one of the benefits in my pitch so that they see, because people are willing to pay way more if you can reduce the time of the service happening. Okay?
Absolutely. So it's about really concentrating on the benefits of your work instead of the method. And of course, this is also a thing that I argument a lot when I am with people who say, yes, but we don't have the budget. Then I help them to reflect on, okay, just tell me, if these 15 people are not gathered together, how many meetings will you have in the next 3 months to solve these problems? How many emails, how many meetings, how many preparations of meetings, how many follow-ups meetings? If you now calculate the salary, you will have to pay just for the people to align of this and this and this in 3 months. I guess it is more than the budget that you have to plan for a one-day workshop. Do you agree? So these are things that I say sometimes. I'm not always the kind pinky.
Hey. So, of course, only on this one we can spend a full day on this. So we should move on for the sake of time. And we still, of course, wanted to give you tactics so that it's not only issues, so that you have takeaways. So let me share 2 with you right now. So you can do different type of things. The first thing, and I think it's a smarter choice, what you want to do is niching. Again, easy to say, I decided not to niche myself. So I'm just telling you that niching is easier. And why is it easier? It's because you're going to focus on a specific audience. So you will be able to understand this audience way more. After discussing, like imagine like I want to sell design sprints, I'm going to focus on product manager, head of innovation, digital managers. And after discussing with them, I will start to understand what are the most common pain points, what are those needs. And when I'm going to present how I can help them, but the way I'm going to present my offering is going to be done in a way that I'm really making easier the connection between the pain points, the needs, and the solution that I'm offering, okay? So it's really one of the benefits of niching. And also the fact that you're niching, you're going to be perceived more as an expert in that certain field, in innovation, in marketing, in whatever you pick as a niche. So this is going to definitely help, all right? Then if you don't want to niche, let me give you another tactic. It's called packaging your workshop. Again, a workshop is a service. So what you want to do is to transform this service into a product, because when you have a product, it's easier to make connection. You have your list of needs. I have this product and it fits every need. And again, you know, I'm a big fan of the design sprints. If you look at the design sprint, why it was such a successful workshop recipe, it's because it's a product. Jake Knapp of course, he invented his recipe, but he got inspired from design thinking, which is like huge. And he have like, no, the promise of a design sprint is like, you have a big problem, you want to solve it. So you're going to come up with solution, prototype the solution and validate them with real users in 5 days. So you see, it's way more tangible that I can help you solve that big problem with workshops. How are you going to do this? Which workshop? How much time is going to take? What are you going to do during those things? So this is the secret, is to package a workshop. For example, me that decided not to niche, I do a strategic workshop, I do design sprint, I do team retreats. And I'm going to take the workshop I want to do, and then I'm going to package them. Like if I take a team retreat, basically it's a mix of strategy workshop, team collaboration workshop. And I know between May to September, people are willing to invest in offsite. So I'm going to reach out to certain customer.
And at the end of the year, there are some retrospective. I would say September, October, start to plan this for retrospective workshops. This is the moment I send messages to my past customer and try to. Yes, Alex, sorry.
There's a question from Fadila. She's asking if the only one who feels that niching and packaging are antinomic.
Antinomic
means can they complement each other? Or?
Of course.
You're going to package your workshop in the niching, because at the end of the day, you are selling a workshop. I guess this is why you're here. And it's like, how am I going to package my workshop so that the niche, my target audience that I decided to focus on, they see how I solve them. Okay? And you're never going to mention workshop again. You're going to have an offering helping, I don't know, marketing managers to come up with content roadmaps or whatever you decide to do.
Yeah. Packaging your workshop is good for everything.
And the magic of this is that you can have, like mentioned by Nathy, you can have multiple workshops, and then you can reach out to the same clients multiple times a year. It gives you an excuse. Mm-hmm. So we will, I have a session tomorrow after the workshop. So if you do your job well, this is the place where you will identify opportunities. Sometimes you won't find any, but this is a great way to go back to a client. Especially this year, it's a tough year. Like a lot of companies are behind in terms of results. So I can reach out to them like, I guess you're struggling with 2025, tough year, you're not hitting your goal. Why not taking a break from the operation? Spend a day together with your team to really focus on building a plan to how you're going to recover. And then boom. All right. Let's move on to the second one. Nathy.
Oh, I'm the LinkedIn girl, right? But yeah, you too. But yes. The second one is thinking that posting on LinkedIn today won't bring clients tomorrow. And this is a thing you need to know that I started to post my first post in 2022, and I can prove you that you are wrong if you think like this, because LinkedIn is there to make people aware about you. It's not about actually to sell something right away. No clients takes action after seeing just one post. And of course, if you are posting like just for the sake of posting, I guess it will not work very, very well. But on the long term, if you stay constant and if you are making yourself visible, showing the people that you have your expertise, showing also the people who you are, so what you solve, who you serve, why you. I mean, people like to get more information above on the side of your expertise to know with who they could work. And if you are consistent, and I think this is the key, if you are consistent, I can say from my own experience that that people get aware. And even if sometimes I know I had this discussion with Mehdi the other day, we are not completely aligned on that point. He told me, yes, but you are only attracting pairs. Yes, but it's okay. But there are pairs who are in-house facilitator and who also would like to have an external facilitator to lead some of their workshops. And it's not only about posting to reach out to the right client straight away, but if you post regularly, you will be referred also from pairs to other clients. For example, one of my friend Pedram referred me to one of his clients because I was in Asia and he's in England, so I could make the workshop for this client. So you are seen, you are visible, and the key also is give a lot inside, give a lot free tips. I know that a lot of people are sometimes very scared to share their tips and their advice because someone could steal it. But you know what? I saw a lot of times things that I have posted, frameworks that I post, framework that I did myself, exercises that I recommend, or exercises that I imagine, and I posted it on LinkedIn, and I saw it in other communities without even mentioning my name. I mean, this is what a compliment. What a compliment. You are sharing your knowledge. People use it. So if they are using your stuff, they will come again to see what you are doing. And giving is really the key to make people aware about you. The thing is also...
Nathy,
yes.
I can't follow. There are so many questions on the chat, so I'm just going to pick one because I know it's a very hard problem. Any suggestions on how to deal with LinkedIn and consistency?
Whoa.
Okay, so this is a good one because yesterday we were thinking, okay, what do I give for example? And these are some of the examples we will touch in the week that we are preparing in June. So the tactics for you to be constant on LinkedIn. I reveal you one secret. Take 3 categories. Be very sharp on your target audience. Be very sharp on your target audience. Create like 2 or 3 categories of posts you can post in the week. One of the problem, one on the solution, one about you, or not you personally, but not you private, but like behind the scenes of your work. And then you have one post for the Monday, one post for the Thursday, and one post for the Sunday. I know, Mehdi, you didn't want me to reveal this today, but this is how I did it. I really planned, and I planned one day in a week at my beginnings. I planned one day in a week to prepare my post for the week after. So this is exactly how I started.
The advice I would give is in the beginning, you want to start easily. So you see what Nathy's sharing is like definitely the great way to go, but it's like 3 posts a week. For example, when I started, it's not something I could commit to. Otherwise, it's too hard. it's too much work. I don't have time to create 3 posts a week. So I started with something less. So I would say like just start. In the beginning, if you're not consistent, it's not a problem because building a brand on LinkedIn or no matter the channel, it's going to take time. At the end, at some point, you're going to get traction. And then this is where you want to be consistent because people are going to expect more value coming from you. So for example, me, I don't have any goals of, I want to reach that number of followers. I want to have that reach for that post. You're not going to be able to have those things because you not control them. You're like depending on this shitty algorithm that changed again this year, that's making your life a nightmare. So I can only control what I can control. So what I'm controlling is like my goal, and it's not a lot. It's at least 1 LinkedIn post a week. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, it's fuck, it's Thursday, I didn't write anything. I need to do it now.
Yes.
And then you become a machine like Nathy. I think those guys, I think Said is posting 3 times a day.
Yes, it's true. I don't know
Said
how
is
it
crazy.
is.
Don't try to be like Said.
Sometimes I see something at midnight on the Sunday. I was like, who is reading this? But you're right, Said has an international audience. So makes sense.
No, but it's true. You don't have to do this. It was just a tactic. For me, I have like 2, 3 categories. It can be 2 categories, 1 or 2 categories so that okay, 1 time on the problem, 1 time of the solution, 1 time about me. And honestly, if you have a busy weeks with clients or anything, I will prioritize my clients than LinkedIn. Only that So LinkedIn is here for just for the visibility and just to show your expertise somewhere.
So what I propose, because I know we still have 3 problems to deep dive to, we have a lot of time. So if you have a lot of questions, we can answer them at the end.
Yeah.
So that we are sure that we are covering and at least meeting the promise we made in the agenda of the event. And then we are happy to answer every question you have on LinkedIn or anything else.
Okay, and I will give you an example now. I will give you an example on how I use LinkedIn because it's not only about posting. It's also LinkedIn is the platform where you can reach out to people. So in 2022, I had a request. I had a request from a consultancy in Indonesia. And their clients, the Bank of Indonesia, wanted to send 3 delegations of their employees to Germany, where I was at that time. And they wanted these 3 delegations to meet Siemens, Daimler, and SAP in Germany to have like a facilitated talk about innovation culture. And the fun fact is, they wanted this, they gave me the contract, I said yes, and then I asked them, can you give me the contact to the people at Siemens, Daimler, and SAP? And they told me, we don't have them. But they already had a date, they already knew when they want to come, how many people, and in which hotel they will sleep in Heidelberg and in Munich. So the point is I had to make the connection to this client, and myself, I don't have the connection to SAP, for example. But on LinkedIn, in the same time, I saw a post from Dr. Christian Schmeichel, who is the global HR of SAP, and he was the guest in a podcast. So I thought, what an opportunity. So I was thinking, okay, how can I reach out to this man? Because I guess he gets lots of email every day. He don't know me. So how can I make him aware about me? So I commented the post he did about the podcast he was in. I just put a comment. I cannot read the comment right now. Wait, let me see, because it's too small for me. But it was like, it was about everything, the value that I got in this podcast.
Would you like me to read it?
No, it's okay. I have it now.
Okay.
So I was just absolutely inspired by the podcast, Dr. Schmeichel. The alignments of value, visionary insight, and innovation reaffirms the role of workshop facilitators, because he was talking about this in the podcast. So it was my first little spice. I talked about it, and he responded to this comment by, it was nice that you got some value. Second step, I put a post a few days later, a long post, and it was not for my audience. It was just that I wanted that Dr. Schmeichel see what I'm doing. So I was making a wrapping up of the podcast I was listening, and talking about all the key highlights from this inspiring episode. What happened there is exactly what I wanted. Dr. Schmeichel sent me a short comments and a message. And of course, as I then ask for connection, he connect with me. After he connect with me, I worked like, I would say 5 hours on the right message to send him. So I sent him a long message on LinkedIn since we were just connect. And I explained him that the delegation of the Bank of Indonesia is coming to Germany. And this is such a shame because we already have 2 meetings with Siemens and with Daimler in Munich. And after having listened to his podcast, I was thinking this would have been so great to also meet SAP. What happened is that Dr. Schmeichel sent me an email. Hey, if there are still time for this meetup between the Bank of Indonesia and SAP, I would be more than grateful to welcome you in Heidelberg. I send you the data and the number of the person who is responsible for this. And the result was I got this connection. We made a whole day at SAP with the Bank of Indonesia delegation, and I fulfilled the contract. And there are a lot of stories. There will be a second one later on. There are a lot of stories how I use strategically and intentionally network on LinkedIn by really thinking and working on how to contact the people. And all these things seem simple, but it's really smart thinking to get to reach the right people. It's not working every time, but it works when you highlight the people. They feel that they trust you. So this is one of my way of using LinkedIn.
I think what is really interesting here is that, LinkedIn takes a lot of time, and this is something you can do even if you don't have an audience.
Yeah.
This was also the trick that we wanted to give you, is that building the number of followers is not always the way to go, and it takes time, and this is what you should aim for. But look at this example. Like this guy was not going to check the number of followers that Nathy has or whatever. Just like, oh, she took the time to write this. It's well summarized. Let me thank her, because at the end she made him look good on LinkedIn. Another technique we use a lot when we want to sell stuff. All right, let's move on.
Yes, the second thing, so what I told you just before, it's really a combination of LinkedIn and networking. And I really do think that most of us don't take enough advantage from our networking. And the fact is that first, it's easier for you to start with people you know. It feels much more comfortable to start with the people you know. And people love to help. So when I tell my mentees, reach out to 5 people who might be your target audience in your friends or from employees from your companies or whatever, reach out to them and ask them questions. And it's much more easy to make some interview with people you know, and people are willing to help actually, because we assume sometimes that we will bother the people with the fact that we are going freelance, but it's not about that. It's about using this relation to ask questions, and they are really willing to help. So my second advice would be invest a lot of time in networking at your beginnings, much more, and with the time actually always, because this is where you build trustful relation with people. And sometimes something is not working, even if you wanted to sell something or to get a contract. But this is not because it's not the right time that it will not work. later on. So continue of building your relation with the people of your network. Try to stay top of mind. So reach out to your client again, like we said just before, to propose some new workshops you have been testing with other clients, or to propose retrospective during different season, and really treat the networking as part of your business growth, because from my experience it works. I guess from your experience too, Mehdi.
Definitely. I think we prepared this together, if people didn't know. So of course we took the time to pick problems we agree on. But definitely, and I think this is something where you're really good at, Nathy. Because sometimes you like, especially when you're in the run, or like, I really need to find an opportunities now, you're freaking out and you don't even necessarily think about this. And this is why we wrote the last bullet point is like, opportunities are everywhere.
Absolutely. And I have a great example.
Great example for this.
Yes, I have a great example for this. So for those from a LinkedIn post to great title, from a LinkedIn post to a 10K collaboration. Wow. Okay. So
there is a question maybe before you start with this one.
Okay.
From Lucy, how do you balance doing client work with outreach and networking? Find it hard to prioritize outreach when busy with workshop planning. And you know, this effect of
the drop. It's actually Lucy, you just pulled the 4th issue. So we will cover that in a minute.
Okay. So 2022, I quit my job to go traveling. So at the beginning of the year, I quit my job. In the summer, I did the workshop master. And from September to December, I was preparing the fact that I was going traveling, and I knew I would go to Asia. And then I saw a post from Michael Leverick, who wrote different books about design thinking, and he was one of the guests of my podcast. So I saw his post and I was saying, he's doing a ultimate design thinking retreat in Indonesia in December. Okay, how did he get there? So I didn't reach out to Michael, but I was looking in the post where he tagged the 2 organizers of this retreat. And I contact Linksbrain Indonesia. And Linksbrain Indonesia, and I was just telling them, hey, I saw that you are creating a retreat with Michael Leverick. He was on my podcast. I'm from Europe. I'm the podcast host, blah, blah. And by coincidence, I'm coming to Asia in a few months, and I would love to meet you, to meet your team, and also to be connected to people in the field of design thinking, innovation, facilitation. And this is how I got in contact with Linksbrain. And Linksbrain is the consultancy who is specialized in digital transformation, who hired me then in 2023 to make the contract with the Bank of Indonesia and the companies in Germany. So the Bank of Indonesia is one of the clients of this consultancy. They have as clients all the big banks, all the cosmetic industry in Asia, insurances. So they have a bunch of clients there. And I got this first contract from them. And I continue to work with them along the way. Beginning of 2025, I had a contract to make an AI adoption workshop for 10 of their clients. So we should have been like 30 people in the room. Unfortunately, it was cancelled at the very last minute for political reasons, things that happened in Indonesia at that time. But I continue to have contact with them. They know that I'm coming back in 1 month to Asia, and we will talk about leadership development there. So just that you know, it's all started because of this post of Michael Leverick and me taking action to contact Linksbrain, just asking question. I didn't know myself that it could lead to a collaboration. For you, just to keep in mind, look intentionally of what you are looking for on LinkedIn. Behind all the things you see, there might be some opportunities there.
Wow. Thanks, Nathy. Very insightful. So let's move to number 4. So only selling when you have no projects. So I get it. We are excited about workshops, of delivering our craft, making customer happy. But the problem that comes with that is that at some point, if you don't do sales consistently, you're going to have the drop. And this is why it's so hard to build a solid, sustainable workshop pipeline. It's because you need to sell a lot. Why you need to sell a lot? The workshops are short intervention, right? So the good thing is that workshop has a great value, meaning that even if you don't work a lot, you can sell them at a very premium rate. And I guess this is also why this field is so attractive. But still, you need to sell a couple of workshops a year. And when in my full-time job, actually my job was like when I shifted our studio more focused on facilitation, this is the challenge that we had a lot. Because like at some point, I don't know, May, always a crazy month. So we were like full capacity, we deliver, we try to make it happy, and then we have the drop before the summer, which is always like a calm period. So, and the secret, and you're not going to love the tips I'm going to share with you, but is that you need to do a lot of sales every day or at least every week. You need to block some time in your agenda to really think about that. And I'm going to show you like how I do it, but basically it's like sport. If you want to be healthy, if you want to be in shape, it's not just like one time a month I'm going to work out. No, it's a bit of every day, even if it's 10 minutes, because first you're building the habit, and then when it comes to sales, it's like the lottery. The more you play, the more you're gonna win. And that's what you want to do. You want to do like, I don't know, reach out to people a couple of times. You will see that you will have a certain conversion rate, and the more you do, the more opportunity you will have. All right, so this is why we advise you to do sales activities at least every week. And again, sales activities, it can be a reach out, it can be like what Nathy did, but at least thinking about that every day. In my full-time job, I have a block every morning of 1 hour just to do that. I'm not saying that I'm doing always that, of course, but at least it's in my agenda. So when I'm like too much on delivering stuff, I will skip it, but I will try at least to keep doing it. Otherwise, I know we will have a problem. And I have a problem because we have a bigger team, etc., etc. So, and also the advice I want to give is that selling is part of your job as a freelance facilitator, as a facilitator. I know it's less exciting than doing the workshop, but if you want to have access to those great workshop opportunities, at the end of the day, you need to sell. You need to sell. And I think it's a mindset, because you have the feeling that you're pushing stuff. And if you change your mindset by, I know what I'm delivering is really good, it's helping people. So it's just you that you want to help your audience. And to do that, you're going to deliver value, and they need to pay for that value. And just this shift, like I'm not bothering them, I want to help them. And how can I show them the value I can deliver in the sales technique you're going to use? So let me share a couple of examples. So we have cold outreach, warm outreach. What does it mean? Cold outreach is basically sending a message, calling someone you don't know. This is the classical cold calling in sales. And of course, here it was an email. And what you want to do, so even if you don't know the person, you want to be prepared. You want to spend time. Like Nathy did with the guy of SAP, she made her homework. So me, for example, I was on LinkedIn. There was this huge company, they have a huge innovation studio, and I'm trying to sell Design Sprint. And they already have the partners really hard to enter. And I see that they are looking for an innovation coach. So I was like, okay, they are looking for an innovation coach. So if you look at the email I sent, it was a long time ago, but basically I tell them like, oh, I've seen that you're looking for a coach. It's also showed a certain level of maturity. You see, you always want to start with like a kind of a compliment, something positive. And then I'm giving them something so that they are coming back to me. Here I use the sample technique. You know, you're giving them a sample. It's also called the drug dealer technique. You give them that, and And because it's so good, they will come back to you. And here it's like, first, it's a technique that works very well, but here it was a must because, again, they already have the partners, they're happy, they're already doing a lot of great stuff. So how can I get the attention of this guy? And what is funny is that I got an out of office. So the guy was on holidays because you see 1st of July. And it was so interesting that he still answered during his holidays. Thanks for your email, Mehdi. Seems interesting. Let me come back to you after my holidays. So prepare the message you're going to send. And if you do this consistently with a certain volume, you will get leads coming back. All right, so this is a cold outreach. Let me give you an example of a warm outreach. And again, 2 times the same slide. So because of time, I wanted to ask you what is wrong with this message. So I will do it quick. For example, I received that message a long time ago. I connected with the guy and I translated in Google Translation because it was in French. He told me like, hello, Mehdi, I hope you're well. I don't know if you read Homo Sapiens, 300,000 years of customer experience, which is basically the name of his book. For the record, writing is not really my thing. So it took me 4 years to write and I'm proud to have achieved it. If you're interested, here is the page that presents the book and you can download the free PDF. So you see, remember what I said in the beginning of the session? If I don't see how it benefits me, I don't care. So the guy in his entire message, it talks to me about something I don't know. I don't know what is Homo Sapiens book. I don't care. Again, I don't want to be mean, but I don't care that it took you 4 years. How does it benefit me? And the guy is pushing me a lead magnet, like Alex mentioned yesterday in his talk, but I don't care because I mean, like free content is everywhere. Look at Fit for Facilitation. I mean, like you can have a lot of content, but you don't have a lot of time. So I never answer. So it's not the right way to do warm outreach. So let me show you the right way of doing it. And of course, I took an example of me, so I don't want to be cocky, but this is the example that I have. So, so I make a LinkedIn post, right? I make a LinkedIn post about the update of the design sprint. I was in a training with Jake Knapp. I make a post about it. Someone from working in a co-working space sees the post, reshares it. And she's working for a co-working space. So I was like, this can be a good customer so that she can refer me to every client that comes there to do their workshops. So I send her a message. But again, it's not about me. It's about them. So I thought to myself, okay, what are important for a co-working space? To book their space. What can be challenging? To have customer coming back or to re-engage with customers that already came there. So what did I do? I created a workshop, like, thanks again, the compliments. Thanks for sharing. I don't know if it was her. I was like 90% it was her behind the LinkedIn page. I can imagine it's a challenge to always make sure that you have customer in your space. I can help you do that. How am I going to help you do that? I'm going to deliver a free training on a topic you can choose from. You give me the location for free. I come, I facilitate my workshop. Your clients come because it's a free training that you propose them. They're happy, they see back the space, and you can, again, engage in a new discussion. What I wanted to do with that, from a selfish point of view, I wanted to build my website and I needed some good content, like good pictures. I didn't want to invest in renting the place, etc., etc. So this is what I told her is like, I'm going to film everything and then you will have a great video content. So I made her an offer that it's so good to say no to that she accepted it. Look what happened. So of course she answered to my message, but this is the outcome of that message. First, I got a great LinkedIn post, 5K views, 44 comments. So all the comments are people that were in this training saying that the training was so good. Again, it was not me promoting the event. I did a post, but they filled in with their newsletter. So I had a room full of potential customers. Okay, people that also want to steal my recipes, it's fine. I'm okay. Like Nathy said, you need to deliver value and stealing is part of the game. But I know I can deliver much more than just the content that I delivered. So I had potential clients. I connected with peers that maybe want to collaborate like I'm doing with those amazing guys. And most importantly, I got what I wanted too, a free video that is very qualitative. So you see, it's just a tactic to show you how you can also, again, We don't care that you don't have an audience. We don't care about anything else. It's just like, okay, how can I help this person so that she comes back to me, I get what I want, and at the end of the day, everyone is happy. Because this is what is sales about, is creating value, and each party needs to be happy and about the results, and it should be a win-win partnership. Okay? So that was the fourth problem, illustrated with 2 techniques. And I know this, like, people don't like to hear this. Sending out message, it feels pushy, it feels salesy, but this is the most effective one, especially when you don't have a brand. Of course, if you have a Brittany, if you're a Dee that is in the room, you have such a strong brand that clients are going to come to you. And this is what we all want, and this is why you should start building this brand. But today it's not the case. So this will bring you clients even if you don't have any subscribers. Of course, if you do it properly.
So make a list on the kind of consultancy, co-working or stuff. So group of people that have the clients you want to reach out and see how you can propose them something. It could be some association of group of people which are your target audience or who are working with the people who are your target audience. This is a good way to work with people. Okay, so it's already 3 o'clock, Mehdi. So just that you know, it's already 3 o'clock. And this is my slide. So I will go over this slide, but I will tell you I will not deep dive too much because we have still things to tell you. And because this big mistake or this big challenge is about not taking advantage of the after workshop. And we started to talk about it in our previous session, and Mehdi will talk about it even deeper tomorrow at 2 o'clock in his session, the after workshop. But let me, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my slide now, exactly. So not taking advantage of the after workshop, and this is exactly the moment where you should really prepare to talk with your clients on several levels. So the first thing that we wanted to give you is when you have your first collaboration with a client, go the extra mile. What do we mean by this? Is give more with this client, prepare more, give them more than they are expecting, even if in the next time you will put it on invoice, but so that they can see everything that they can get from you. So in this feedback discussion, I give, for example, I try to make some survey before my workshop with my participant and after the workshop with my participants, so that the clients see the result or the transformation they had through the work with me. Whether it's on team building or it's a facilitation training, I try to keep the mindset or before, or the things that need to be improved before and after. These are things that I'm giving my client, even if he don't ask for this. I give him, and even if he say, yeah, I didn't want this, I said, yes, but you get it. And I think this is important for you to see the result of the work. So go the extra mile in the first collaboration. Position yourself as a strategic partner. In this case, it's really about you are working with a team for 1 day, for 2 days, for a few hours, for several sessions, and you recognize some things that might be important for the leader in his teams. Example, you are working with a team and these clients kickstart a very big new project, and you recognize that there is, a junior project manager that is not so confident and will need a little bit more time to really get into his job. So I would recommend my customer, you know what, I saw this in the session, maybe if I would be in your position, and I was in your position in the past, I would maybe considering to pair a junior with a senior so that he can learn faster and that he get practice faster through his mentor and then go in the project. These are the kind of advice that I like to give for my clients, which have no impact of the work I'm doing with him, but just giving him my recommendation. As Alex said yesterday, follow up quite quickly while the energy and momentum are still high. So he was talking about the session, for example, but you can do this also after the session. Don't wait too long to reach out to your customer. And of course,
maybe sorry to interrupt you. Since we promised prices at the end of the session, like always, maybe we can come back to that slide during the Q&A.
Yes, of course. I'm just finishing. In this conversation, this is where you can place the next step that you think are for value for the customer. So your next workshop that you think makes sense for him, and really treat the after workshop as your new opportunity to work with your clients. But as we said, this topic will be discussed or showcased by Mehdi tomorrow. I'm sorry, I tried to do it quick. We are not good. We are not good. We are the facilitator. We are not on time, Mehdi.
Because you had so many things to say, and I by reading the chat, I think nobody will
No, but that's why we can cover all those points. I think we really want to give you like practical tips, and we took a bit of time. So in the Q&A, you can stay and we can like come back to that slide, to the techniques. Tomorrow, I'm just going to share like today, like concrete technique I'm using in the after workshop, on not only to sell, but also to create amazing experiences. So come tomorrow and you also will have all of that. All right.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to start or do I start? I want to start. I want to start.
It's a pink sticky note, so I guess.
Oh, thank you. So I start. So I have the great pleasure to announce that Mehdi and I put our different perspective, our different ways of doing things, our different experiences, him in sales, me in positioning and branding. And we were just thinking, okay, we never worked together. So here now, of course, for the Fit for Facilitation. But even if we have the same audience and everything, it was never competition. He's a good friend of mine. And I was thinking about doing something with him since 1 year. And now we take the opportunity for a 1-week challenge called Workshop to Cash. And it will be the first week in June. And the good thing is there are no limited seats. There are no limited seats. 2 experts for you to help you cover your offer.
So again, I think it's the question we get most of the time. Before in my program, I had an entire module on this, and each time it was like I had a lot of questions. It was not enough time, so I decided to remove it so that we can really focus on building something that is practical with Nathy. So what is the promise? Is basically we're gonna spend 1 entire week together, so that you don't have the chance to procrastinate. You're going to be in a room full of facilitator. And during those 5 days, we're going to cover what we believe are the most important pillars to build a strong sales strategy. So day 1 is all about like getting to understand the basics of sales when it comes to you, of course. So only things that you need to know, how to interact with your audience, how to find it, etc. Day 2 is going to how you can build an offer, whether you decide to niche or not. Day 3 is, okay, how can we build a lead machine? Like Alex proposed also some techniques yesterday, but we're going to share with you all the tactics, because there are many of them, to really get opportunities when it comes to workshops. Day 4, it's all about branding. So we're going to cover LinkedIn, but all other social medias that we are ourselves using.
Yes.
And the last one, again, it wouldn't be a great program if we not make it even easier for you to take action. So the last day, it's like, okay, you've learned all those things. How can you start so that you can start getting the cash from those workshops? Okay, so why should you join? Again, do different perspective, to different energy. And I think the most interesting one is not about us. It's about you guys. You're going to build real connection with other facilitators, and you're going to become accountable buddies. Like, you're going to see your friend doing the actions, selling those workshops, going out there, sending the message. It will feel not comfortable in the beginning, but all together, we're going to get there. Okay, so that is a promise. We really wanted to make it very accessible. So we made a very special price for you guys. So the entire week is €197. You get all our content, recording of the sessions, the slides, the Miro templates, because it's not just teaching, it's us explaining you how to do so that you're doing it live. So that at the end of the week, you have a strong plan with all the different pillars we mentioned. Is the first week of June. And also something very special, the 10 first people to buy the program will get a special discount. So it will be €147. So I think Said sent the link in the chat.
The code
we have
is...
a timing at when the challenge starts each day for people to know that.
It's the 2 of June, and we said yesterday what time it was.
It's on the landing page, so 5 p.m. CET, and then I think it's 11
a.m. In the States.
So my question to you guys is your bank account ready for the gains? Or maybe no. Said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, level up.
Are you ready to level up?
Yeah.
We need to imagine that the song is there. Okay, the song is there. No.
Where is
we don't hear it, Said.
I started it, but...
Yes! So we really hope to see you all, a big group of you in the first week of June. We will, of course, make like breakout rooms that you can connect. You remember, for those who were in my session, ecosystem, collaboration, growing with peers is also one of the recipe of a successful business. We keep it low price so that you can do something very valuable, not spending too much money. So I can't wait for this week of challenge. I will be in Asia in that time, so it will be night for me, but I will sleep in the morning just to be fit for facilitation at the end of the day.
Okay, guys, so let's go for the prices. I think this is why people stay, right? It's like, what am I going to get? So of course, we're going to have one ticket for free for one of you. We're going to have one license as well. And also, if you stay around, we can go into the question. I'm sorry we didn't cover most of them. So I've said to my wife that I have blocked my agenda for you. I think Nathy is also there. So we can deep dive into your question just afterwards.
Would you stop sharing your screen,
yes.
Mehdi?
Don't say it.
And we will give it to our favorite MC, Said, for the prices. So the first prize is for someone who would get a free ticket for the challenge with the Workshop to Cash challenge in June. Of course, if it's not the right price for you, just tell it, and we will give it to someone else, and you will get whether a license in Butter or a license for Session Lab.
Okay, starting with the first prize, which is the ticket. And again, just quickly, you need at least 2 comments in the chat so that you land on my wheel here. So give a shout out to Mehdi and Nathy if you haven't already, to have your second comment. Awesome. And the second thing is you still need to be in the room. If not, I will spin the wheel again. And of course, I will play a little bit of music and give you 5 more seconds. I can see people are still joining the wheel. 87. Okay. And I will spin the wheel in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Awesome.
We have D.
No.
I saw her. I saw her somewhere. There she is. D, do you accept your prize?
I was just thinking, like, I don't teach any of this stuff, Nathy, because I hate sales and I hate figuring out how to do LinkedIn, and maybe I should actually come to this. Should I quickly check my calendar and make
Yes,
sure?
of course, do
Yeah?
that. Yes, of course, do that.
In it again. 1 second.
I cannot believe this is the second time,
What was
yesterday
it?
and today.
June 2nd to 6th, was it?
Yes, every day at 12.
So funny.
Yeah.
No, but Nathy,
Yeah.
should we not give it to also someone else then? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you
Just
want?
my-
Yeah, maybe.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Even if it's D, you can come in. You're
Yeah.
more than
I
welcome.
agree. Great.
Eddie, you can come. Eddie, you can come at any time. I would give the chance to someone who is not so prominent like you, girl,
In the
because
wheel again.
Because the bank account is already fit.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, I can just see I cropped away the names, so I can just lie next time. Okay, then spin again for the same price.
yes.
Okay, then.
We will have D in the room, guys. If
Oh
you're,
no, I'm
this is a
trustworthy,
good
so I
reason
will.
to come.
I will tell you. We have Peter Cleary, and let's quickly check if Peter is still here and interested in joining. We have no Peter in the room.
No, Peter. So
Okay,
again,
2 rounds. Okay.
You cannot lie anymore. We see the name side.
now we see the name.
Yeah, now you see the names. You have
Oh, Nelia.
Nailia, are you still there?
No, I know
No.
her.
Okay,
I
that
don't
was
know.
not part of the rule. It's not if you know Alex, you win.
Yeah.
We
We're
are
gonna kill
just
those guys. We're gonna kill those guys. Oh no! So
we're raising the chances. Michelle, do we have a Michelle? She's still
Yes. Michel.
What is her name?
there. Dugar.
Michelle Dugar.
Oh, Michelle Dugar. She was in my video, so I think I know her. Yeah. Yes, I know you. Right. I was thinking.
Awesome. Okay.
So, Michelle,
This-
we will see you in June in the challenge. I'm very happy to see you there.
Awesome. Okay, then I will remove you because only 1 prize per day. And the second prize was the butter license worth 349 euros for a year. And I will spin and let's see who is our next winner. I saw Vivienne. Vivienne,
Yes.
are you still
yes.
in the room?
Yes, she's here.
Vivienne
please
already.
Nathy,
Vivienne.
stop telling people that you know all the winners.
Yeah, I think I already had this prize yesterday. So
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
just-
then I guess you get Alex. Just kidding.
Exchange it for the workshop.
But you are right. Thanks for your honesty. You already won, of course, yesterday with.
In my session.
Oh,
This is just
yeah.
what I wanted to say. She already won yesterday.
Even better for the rest of us. Let's do
Yes.
another spin. There's nothing you can do with 2 licenses. So, come on. We have Elke. Elke,
Yes.
still there?
Yes.
Elke from Belgium.
Yes, you are
Yes,
here. Can you
I
unmute
remember.
yourself?
Elke from Belgium.
Elke from Belgium,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Give her a second.
Sorry,
Yes.
I needed to unmute myself. Here I am. Yes, I'm still here.
Hello,
Awesome, bravo.
Elke.
You won 1 year of butter, which is an awesome tool.
Proficiat.
You get it for free. We will reach out to you, or you reach out to us. Either way,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Do we have anything else to give away?
Yes,
Was there-
Session Lab.
No.
And then-
Nathy, tu t'en vas. J'ai fait une erreur. I did a mistake in the beginning. Sorry, guys, because we made the math. We
Okay,
promised
so
a
we-
big price on the last day.
Yeah, okay. So this was the prices for today. The next Session Lab license will be in the closing. The
There
after
will
party.
be a huge
Yeah, a
package
huge
for
package.
a big winner of the after party.
Yes.
One person will win a lot of things, yeah.
I'm sure Alex will share the link to the after party because there are still a lot of seats open. Please join us on Wednesday, 5 p.m. European time. Would be awesome to see you. Please do not leave yet. As promised, I will shut the F word up and give back to Nathy and Mehdi. If you have any questions, even if you already asked him in the chat before, just unmute yourselves and
I have just one thing I wanted to add, but we're lacking time. Also LinkedIn, the way I use it, LinkedIn, is also as a credibility thing. Like, for example, like I reach out to a client in a cold or warm outreach. The client is interested. If he goes to my profile and he see that I have that many subscribers, that I have that I have this amazing post, then more chances that he's going to trust that I'm the guy when it comes to the thing I was selling to him.
Absolutely.
So there are so many ways to use LinkedIn. It's not always the infinite game of getting the most subscribers. It's also how you want to be perceived.
Yeah. But now we will open for your questions. So we will make silence for a few minutes. Please unmute yourself and yes, and to trust yourself, you can ask us anything. No questions?
I have a question. This is Michelle, and
Hi.
my camera on, and it's about a tactic. I was considering offering, particularly when I, like yesterday, I did a workshop in a co-working space, and I was thinking, oh, how can I get leads from my interaction with the individuals there? It was related to Click, and I was like, how can I leverage this? And I was considering offering where people can have a strategy session with me per se, talk about themselves, but it's still, to me, when I've seen it offered like a complimentary cassette session, like I'm being set up for sales. And so I wasn't quite sure how to use that tool that is offering people a calendar where they can sign up to have time to talk with me. So I'm curious if the four of you or anyone else has used that where you made a session, however we may call it. I guess really I would treat it as a discovery call, but I would position it as something else for them. What are your thoughts?
Mehdi, do you want to take over? Or is it the question is about how to make the people book a call with you, right?
Right.
I can take it.
So there is one thing that I do in my workshops, and I did it in London. I print some stickers, or I bring some stickers on the room, and there is a QR code on it. And the QR code is linked to my Calendly, and this is book a call with me. And this is one little thing that I do that is on top on having conversation. And yeah, Mehdi, I give to you.
So I think the first is if it's like since you're having the session live, it's all about like you still want to help them. So some people will see the trick, like of course it's a sales tactic and people know it because it's working and it's being used, but it's like, okay guys, what have we done today? I know it can be overwhelming. I know it can be hard to implement from your when you're gonna be alone. So let me help you set things up. We can discuss it. We can have a discovery call. You come, it's awesome. We have a chat. We talk about you, and there is nothing else. Like you don't need to buy anything else at the end. It's like you come and try to tell them what are the outcomes that you will provide through the call, so that it's something like very tangible. And yeah, and then even you need to be comfortable with the fact that maybe some people are going to see it as a sales tactics, which it is, and it's totally fine.
I really appreciate how you helped me to shift what you hear all the time, but you helped me to shift and what's in it for them. Like if you're struggling, you need some insight, I'm here, call, I'll be happy to help. So thank you for just bringing that awareness that it's always about making it about them, framing things of how I can help them. So,
exactly. And one thing also, one little thing that I do is I would be more than happy to help you. If I may, I will send you my Calendly because my calendar is pretty busy in the next weeks, but of course I will make time so that we can have this conversation. So also showing that you are a busy person and you are here to help them and you will make the time to help them. This is something that people appreciate. And not begging for something, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And I just put it in the chat, but it's a scarcity technique. So because like then you will create FOMO, especially if they need help. So they will just, oh, she's busy. If I don't book now, I would never get that chance. So just you want to put it in a smart way so that people do the action.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
And now every people that try to reach out to me this week where I talked, I am busy, they will think this is a tactic, but it's not.
I'm busy delivering feeds for facilitation, which is like so true.
Oh, sorry, I'm busy. No, it's...
Guys,
sorry.
Sneaky bastard.
would you like to give Sandy the mic? She has her hand
Yes,
up
of course. Sandy. Hello, Sandy.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
And the sessions so far, every single one has added like so much value. So thank you. So my question is, so after you've had that initial contact and discovery call or whatever, you understand their needs, I guess like practically, what are the next steps that you take to close it? So do you send a proposal? Do you agree something on the call? And even just what tools you use like to manage that?
Okay, so from the discovery call until the close of the deal, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the discovery call is exactly where you ask all your questions, and what I use most of the time is I use Zoom, or I use, in case my client is a corporate and they don't use Zoom, I will ask them to send me the link to their Microsoft Teams. For example, what I used to do, and the guys, Mehdi, Alex, and Said know this, I always have a mirror board open. And even if it's just to, I will share my screen and I will take post-its on everything what the client is saying to me, so that he's seeing the notes that I'm taking from our conversation. And I will try to organize them during the conversation. And then I will never ever send a proposal in an email to my client, because in this proposal there are the prices and I want to go over the value first in another call with my customer to finally talk about the price. So I would never send a proposal before having talked about my proposal with the client. And then it depends with who you are working. When I'm working with big organization, they will not book a call like someone, like a facilitator booking a course. They will send me a contract. Most of the time they send me a contract with an NDA and a lot of things to fill out. And then I will fill all these paperwork with their operations people, and it will make a contract. Mehdi, how do you do that?
Before I share my way of doing it, do you want to add something or ask a question to what Nathy explained?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, thank you for that. Yeah, I guess so it seems like you have, it's more of a collaborative discussion and not necessarily back and forth exchange of documents, except at the end when you are signing a contract. But so it seems like it's a collaborative discussion to agree and close it. Because I'm good. Yeah, I guess like it was more just tactically how to help close deals.
Yes, it's more of discussion. It depends of the. I don't have a one for all tactics, because it really depends on the organization. If it's a small companies, if it's a bigger companies or governmental organization. So it depends, but most of the times it starts with an email I try to get the people. I will not exchange emails, like 10 emails one after another, because it has no sense. Also in emails, there are miscommunications. So I try to get the people on a call. In the second call, I will ask if there are other stakeholders that should be in the call to really align before we go into the rest. And then the other discussions are when the sale is done, then we start to talk about the workshop itself, or what it is about concretely, more in details, to prepare the session.
Okay. Thank you.
So the way I do it, so the first thing is like the first interaction with your clients. I don't know, I guess you're based in the US, Sandy?
Yeah, yes, but I work in London and New York. Yeah.
Okay, so most of your clients are not accessible, I mean, in person?
Sorry?
Your first, are you able to have the first interaction in person?
Sometimes, but most of the time it's
remote.
over a video call.
Okay. So me, here, if I look looking at my local market, I'm always trying to be in person with the client the first time. Why? It's because you have so many opportunities to connect from a human to another one that is already going to set the stage differently. Like, you know, he comes to pick you at the main entrance, grabbing a coffee, you know, all those not important moments in terms of what you're going to discuss, but they're important of creating trust with the other party. Then, if it's a discovery from scratch, meaning he has no clue, you never met him before, there is, for me, in my experience, there is low chance that you will be able to deliver an offer after a first contact. Usually it's not the case. So you really want to ask questions, really understand what he wants. You can use a facilitator trick like Nathy did, because it's a way of showing your magic. I think what works very well is to summarize what you understood from the entire interaction, because right away he sees that you clearly understand him, that you're speaking his language. And then sometimes it's like, we need to set up another meeting, or we need to speak with another stakeholder. I will try to organize this right during this interaction. Like, can we look at the agenda? We are both busy. Let's set up a date now. Even if it changes, we will, like, again, it's like doing it in the moment. It's easier than coming back to them. And then I will, like, I need to digest time. Let me time to look at your issue. And then I will come back with an approach or with the content for the second meeting. Then when I make sure that everything is aligned, like he likes the approach, he likes what I'm going to do, then I'm going to come back with him with a proposal. And the way I do it a bit of different of Nathy. Just before sending the proposal, I'm going to give him a call. Like, I'm going to send you the proposal. It's going to be about this. I make sure that we're going to achieve this and this and this. The price is over that, and here's the proposal. In the past, I know it can be like, it's great if you can set up a meeting to present the proposal, but let's be honest, sometimes it's really tough. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And what is great when you're doing this way, you can also feel like, price is too high. He doesn't like this. This is like, maybe we can play on the scope. So I get those information, and maybe I'm going to change things in the proposal before sending it to him. Of course, my price is not going to change, but at least I will have a feeling if after I would need to play on the price, I would need to play on the scope, I would need to remove things I didn't really understand. And this is the worst case scenario. Sometimes, like, if you are discussing, I don't know, a team retreat, it's clear, you're able to right away come with an approach. Then of course I will do it faster.
Thank you for that. And thank you for the detailed response. And I think it's really helpful. Sorry, one last clarifying question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe we could take Margot and Dolores, since it's 5 after past.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm so sorry, Sandy. I just try to be fair to everybody before we close the room. Is it okay for you?
Thank you so much.
Put it in the chat, Satya.
You're welcome. Margot.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, amazing session, guys. I really liked it. My question is around what you said at the beginning. Nobody cares about workshop, and maybe you don't mention workshops when you sell. So it's kind of a two-part question. The first one is, do you not even then mention workshop on your website and LinkedIn? And the second is niching down, because I've started niching down, but do you fully commit to also complete changing, your kind of wording on your website and LinkedIn to fit your niche at the risk of excluding maybe other types of work?
So, who is starting, Mehdi or me?
Comme tu veux.
Okay. So first thing first, my website hasn't been changed since 3 years. And I was thinking at my beginnings, oh my God, I go freelance. I just need a website. I got no client through my website. So just that you know, my website is absolutely not, it's not even targeting the right client. It's very, very broad. It was at the time as I had no strategy and I need to change it, but I don't find the time for it. So first thing. Second thing is, for me, for Nathy, my audience on LinkedIn and online are only the facilitators most of the time. So I'm talking about workshop tactics, of course. I'm talking about facilitation, of course. And if clients with who I'm talking through my network are going to my LinkedIn, then they absolutely know that I'm doing workshops and they know they will look at what I am doing if they don't know me. But what I mean by that is that in the first conversation, I guess if people are reaching out to you or if you are having a conversation, it means that at some point they know what you're doing. But in the conversation, I will not talk about, oh, yes, I have a workshop to do this, or I have a workshop to do that, or I have a design sprint. Most of the clients don't know what is a design sprint if they are not working in product, if they are not a product team, for example. This is where if someone is asking me in an event where I want to meet people, because there are a lot of startups or a lot of companies in this event, I will say I'm an expert in leadership development, team development, or I'm an expert in organizational development, or I'm an expert in AI adoption for non-tech teams. It depends to who I'm speaking and what is the conversation about. So this is for the first contact. And when it's a discovery call, I will really, again and again, like Mehdi say, concentrate on what is the need of the person in front of me, her personal need, also as a leader, the organization needs and the team needs. And what I say is at some point, I will maybe mention workshops. It's not like I'm deleting the word. What I want you to keep is not putting the workshop or the facilitation at the first place. But when I was a project manager, I was not talking about the methods of project management I'm using to run my projects. You know what I mean? And this is the same for workshop facilitation. Don't put the methods first, but when they asked you, you can of course talk about workshops and stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So there were so many questions in your question, Margot. So I will try to be complementary to what Nathy added. So the first thing, sometimes there is room when you need to mention it's a workshop, because sometimes clients, they want to show off with the new shiny object. Like, no, there is a hype around Click. If you're discussing with an innovation team, they will love to just try a new recipe for the sake of trying. And usually those workshops are the worst because there is no real commitment, engagement, etc., etc. But sometimes it can be interesting. I would advise you to stick to your niche. So that's your storyline. Every touch point, you're being consistent. What's going to happen with time is that they will buy from you. They will have a 1 or 2 workshop from you. And then they will start coming to you with, oh, we have this and we thought that maybe you can do this. So for example, in my full-time job, I'm more focused on digital products. I would say digital in broad sense. And after a couple of workshops, I had like a client coming back to me and said like, yeah, we want to work on the new organization of the team. And I don't know if you do those type of things, but since we loved the session, do you think you can help us? And then this is where clients sees the magic that you're using, so the process, and they can start thinking, I can use that maybe for that, and it will help us because it was so efficient in the first place. But it will come afterwards. If you start saying like, I can also do this and I can also do that, you're going to lose people, you're going to confuse them. And for you, it's clear because, I don't know, you make a post about marketing this week and then you made another post, but your client didn't see the two posts. Or maybe they didn't even see one of the posts. So this is why, like, thinking like, I don't know, on Tuesday I only talk about that audience, it's not going to work because you're going to confuse mostly the audience. So I know it's scary to pick a niche. I didn't do it. So congrats. And I've seen your stuff and this is great. And I really believe that's the way to go. And then with time, you will be able to go above that. And then word of mouth are going to come, and then you will be able to do other workshops. But I get it. Why do you want to niche? It's because it's so much fun to work on so many different topics.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much. I'll give a chance to Dolores to ask her question. But yeah, thank you both.
Yeah, we will take the last question from Dolores because then we need to prepare for the next session from Said. Dolores. Hi.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
And hello from Canada.
Hey.
So I'm so thrilled I get to ask a live question. I don't know how to pick a business name. I actually find that a huge barrier. Right now, I just do it under my own name, but I feel like I want something fun and memorable. And besides indecisive, like, I don't know, how do you generate these names? Do you do a business name generator? I also have several different things I can offer. So I don't want to too niche, but yeah, that's a big barrier right now.
So as I said, as I said at the beginning, La Workshoppeuse is something that nobody can pronunciate, but I found it cool because this is workshop and peuse is French, and I just put it, and La because I'm a woman, so I just put it together. Honestly, I don't think there is a rule here for the name. You can do what you want. Most of the people are looking for Nathy Ravez and not La Workshoppeuse because nobody knows how to spell it. So if you're working as a single person, as a solopreneur or a freelance facilitator, you can go with your name. And if you want something fun, try to categorize all the things you are doing, put one name under each category, work with ChatGPT and look at all the creative things that they can do. Or you could invite some of the people in the room here, make a remote workshop in Miro to find your name, the name of your business. You give them, so it's a good exercise for you. You make you design a little workshop of half an hour with some peers, and everybody who wants to help Dolores with the name of a workshop, you can put your name in the chat. This is how you build an ecosystem and work with others. And you could create something next week. Help me find the name of my business, and you prepare all the category of things that you are doing, and you spend like 30 or 1 hour with peers to find the name. Is it a good idea?
I would love that. An ideal party.
Yeah, this is the power of community and buddies to grow with.
Yes.
What I would add
Oh
to
my
that,
goodness.
Yeah.
There's people they're in.
Yeah, so keep their name, take their name and connect with each other. Put your LinkedIn on it or your email address and connect with each other and do that. Do you have a Mehdi? I let you speak. Sorry.
So I would just say first do it fast before people go back to their real life. So do it now.
Yeah.
So that just to use the same tip that was mentioned by my colleague before. And then it's the type of decision you will never be happy about. So just, it's easy to say, just pick something. Like if you really want to go into like ChatGPT, you can just say like, my brand is about this. I want to do this type of work. This is who I am as a human. This is my values. Make me some proposition. Pick one. And at the end of the day, if you don't like it after some time, you can change it. It's not a big deal. Clients are not going to pick you because of your brand name. And they are like, and I can show like there are benefits with like Workshoppeuse. It says more about Nathy. It's like French and the pink, and it's cool. But again, like me, for example, I took Facilitators Corner. Fuck me, my email is super long. There are things I hate about it.
Yeah.
And that's life. And that's life. What is more important is like the branding experience that will go with your brand. This is really important. But the name at the end of the day, we don't care.
The most important are the values and what you show up, your expertise. But it's fun to have I get it, because I wanted also a name that people can remember.
Oh, by the way, as a big fan of JKNAP, there is the brand sprint. It's like if you Google it, you will find a Medium article. It's a 3-hour workshop, and it helps you define those things.
But she has a lot of name in the chat of
just
people
giving
who want to find out the name for Dolores' business. I think this is a good point. Connect. And please, if you really meet with each other, make some screenshots, send them to us, to Mehdi and I, because we want to see the power of the connection between the people at Fit for Facilitation. That would be nice. And guys, I think we will close the session because in 1 hour from now, Said will facilitate his session with a lot of great things he will show you. I got a sneak peek just before the session. So thank you so much for being with us today, Said. Tomorrow at 2, the after workshop with Mehdi. And really important, guys, tomorrow at 5, the community after party. There will be a lot of prize. There will be a lot of announcement what's coming next. And we would be just happy to celebrate with you and get your insights from this week with Fit for Facilitation.
See you guys.
Thank you so much. I'm just thrilled, and I will contact the people in the chat and have a name branding idea party.
Cool.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And it will also be a great story on how you came up with your name.
Yes,
Dolores.
it will be a great story. Yeah, exactly.
It will. It will. And I will help others too.
Definitely. Accountable bodies.
Accountable bodies. Ecosystem, community. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, Dolores. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
See you, Anna. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.